Essay Publishing and the TT Industries Books and Truth Division present how to make your book beautiful. And you may ask now, why should I even care to make my book look good? And this is because it allows for immersive storytelling inside your world. You can enhance builds with a backstory, create experiences for other players, or just telling short stories for everyone on the server to read. So let's get started with the first tip. To use some kind of book formatting mod that is client-side, so you can edit the book, but everyone in the server, if they don't have the mod, can also see it. And so it's completely vanilla, but you don't have the hassle of dealing with paragraph symbols and invisible formatting. And why we would personally recommend Scribble will be shown by the camera person.
Scribble offers three main advantages over other formatting mods. The first being the ability to mark big amount of text and then just format it in bulk, which is very handy if you just have a big page full of text and just want to format it all. Another nice feature is the ability to undo and redo those actions, which if you make an error or something, you can just quickly return it to the state it was in previously. Some other features that a few other book formatting mods also have is the ability to save and load books to file. For example, this main book you just saw will be provided in the video description, so you can just take it into your own Minecraft world. You also have the ability to add and remove pages with those two buttons down here. And if you shift click the normal Minecraft provided transition buttons, you are taken to the first or last page. Maybe the most game-changing thing Scribble provides is the ability to copy-paste formatting. As you can see here, the text and all its formatting is copied as well. So if you have to format something very repetitive or just big amount of text, this is very helpful, so you don't have to apply the same formatting codes every 5 characters. Another issue you might encounter is alignment. As you can see in this book, the right side of the trash can is not aligned very well, and this is because in Minecraft the font it uses is not monospaced, so every letter takes up a different amount of space, and so you can't always align it perfectly. This becomes very obvious in this example when I try to add a space. It is too much, and if I don't add it, it's not really aligned. To fix this, you need something in between, and what is in between this will now be shown in the main book.
In the main book, we add a point and a bold point to fix the error, because a point is half the width of a normal space, and a bold point is 3/3 of the width of a normal space, so you have really fine control. But now you have the problem of having 2 dots inside your page that you don't want, and the trick here is to color those 2 points in white. So they are still there, can barely see them depending on the device you view it on, and this here helps a lot with that. So you can create really fine-grained differences between texts and basically always have alignment in your book. There's one trick to show to remove those white dots. For example, here we have put white boxes below. Maybe you can see them. So there's the thing. You can remove dots. For example, here we have 2 dots, and 2 dots are exactly the same width as one space, as shown here with this underline. And also 1 dot and 1 bold dot is the same as a bold space. So in that case, you can just remove the points and add normal spaces. And I want to highlight the bold space here, because the bold space is really key when you want to align anything, because it's completely invisible and gives a lot of flexibility. Then the even more advanced version of that is the hair space. This is a Unicode character that is half the width of a normal dot. So you can create even finer transitions. So here you can see this text here is really perfect on an angle. Which brings us to our third tip, which is Unicode. And here we have some Unicode characters that we use often. And you can see here there are blocks and shapes like blocks. And these help when you, for example, want to make pixel art. And here we have also another example. This book here is a guidebook to how you can brew every potion. And you can see here this Unicode characters we have shown before. And depending on the Unicode character, it should resemble transparency and the density of the color. And also in the book, there are, for every potion ingredient, there's a corresponding Unicode character. So it helps visualize the different potion ingredients. Then we have some other Unicode characters that we use often. The third tip is animations. You have probably seen a couple of animations in the book. We have then an example book in here. This was actually the first book with animations on the server, and it shows the baking process of a pretzel stick. And in the end, it ends where it started, so it's a perfect circle. You can create a lot of things with animations, and here the copy-pastable formatting that was shown before comes really in hand, because without that it's really difficult. Then a minor thing you can do is add divider lines. You have probably spotted them in the example books we have shown previously, because they make your text look a lot more structured and professional. And on this page we have added some example lines. Those lines here, they all fit into one line, so often you can use the strike through or the underline. You can create Morse code or zigzaggy shapes, so there can really be creative things you can do with divider lines. Then another thing is the TTAM method. The TTAM method is a method to align text perfectly in the middle. To show that, we have here our example text hello, and we want to add hello perfectly in the middle because we are bored of the always on the left formatting of our book, and we want to, for example, for a title, have it in the middle. So first we approximate the middle, and just by adding spaces. Then we copy those spaces to the right side, and now there's still a bit of room left, and in this room we add dots. And you can see here we have now the edge case of 3 dots, which is a bit unfortunate because it's an uneven number. So we normally would copy paste half the dots to the left side and would be done. But in that case, 3 dots, we learned previously in the alignment chapter that you can have half a dot extra if you make the dot bold. So we add 1 bold point on the left and 1 bold point on the right. So we have it perfectly in the center. Then we can remove just the right side here. We don't need it anymore, and make this dot white. So we have a perfectly aligned hello. Maybe you have spotted it in the potions book. We often use custom fonts because Unicode not only has symbols, but also some Unicode fonts. We linked some helpful sites for that in the video description. And here are a couple of examples you can use. Those at the top are subscript, so they are tiny text aligned at the bottom or at the top. And then the last chapter of the book is contents, because maybe the most important thing you would say in a book is the content in it, and the formatting is just the addition that makes the content stand out. So we have provided a couple of examples that are both unique in concept but also have interesting formatting to show. So the first category of books we want to showcase are biographies. So, for example, we have here a 3-part series of a biography, and on the cover you can see there's like a geometrical triangle and with the coloring, and also there are Unicode shapes to help the triangular shape. Then for the third part of the series, the triangle is now red in the color of the blood, and if you flip to the next page, there's a small animation where the triangle breaks. Then the next content category would be a guidebook. We have actually a lot of guidebooks, and with all the books here, we provided a small snapshot of the books we have in the world. And firstly, we want to showcase a guidebook to help you check if you have all the music discs in your collection. So here you can see also those Unicode characters and categories. Here the skeleton discs, and there are all the discs. And then here are the other discs with the length and how to get them. Another guidebook we have is the frequency guidebook. This is maybe the most used guidebook on the server because you can put it in a lectern, and the signal strength is the frequency you get when putting it in a calibrated sky sensor. Then the last guidebook we will showcase is a different one, a completely different kind. It's to get a name for your snowman. So you get the first initial of your name, then the second initial, and then you can name your snowman, which helps you guide the naming process. Then another book category is the classic novel. For example, we have here the On the Northern Pole novel. It's a short story with a cover of a globe. Another thing is the travel guide. The travel guide is, for example, this one here, which showcases with also Unicode characters and formatting different attractions on the server with a small text and a rating. Then the next book is a classic newspaper. This can really enhance your world because it connects different parts and also can connect different books, which we see later. So here's just the house-owned newspaper Trust Today with those title, and then on the right side there's the current date. Then one of the later things you can do is a fictional diary. And a fictional diary is a really nice way to go into the details of how it is to live in those places you have created. Or you can create a choose your own adventure book or even a riddle. And for the riddle, we have a couple more examples. First is just a basic crossword riddle. So you can see here, you have the spaces where you put the letters in. And then on the next page, you have the hints on which words to put in. But this book in actuality was not signed when it was created. So you need to replace those squares with the letters. And now that it's solved, we signed it. And another riddle is this one here. We both don't speak Dutch, so I created this riddle that relies on Dutch vocabulary knowledge, and you can't really solve it without knowing Dutch, especially the last one here. There are 3 different difficulties. And for that, I created a short and not really precise translation book, so you can convert the language, so it's a bit more difficult, the riddle. Then, in the end, we want to mention that you can connect those books to create small universes where, for example, in a newspaper, something is mentioned that was previously only read in the biography to really create an immersive world.